Black taking on a hoop shot for the game.
And I think if yellow weren't there, it would be a draws, right? As in, you wouldn't... Like, if yellow wasn't in the mix, you'd be drawing this. As difficult as the yellow jump shot looks, I think yellow being there means you need to just go for the hoop, right?
I think so. But I'm still going gently at this. He's 6-5 up, so it...
We've not seen too much success with bullying these Atkins hoops, but I think gluing on the wire is the last thing you want to do here.
We've had a lot of really good rejections from these hoops when people have been running angled hoops. Oh, so he's looking at the clearance on yellow.
But I think
that's due to the footing of yellow, isn't it?
Yeah, perhaps it's on the backswing. And to be honest, that's fine. Red's got a long
Red's miles
clearance.
away, and blue is somewhere useful, and he's got a little bit of the right-hand side of that, so he straightened up his hoop shot a little bit there.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably just going to be a ball in front between black and the hoop.
Yeah.
Yep, that looks like what he's aiming for.
We'll see how confident Rob is, and how he assesses Felix, and whether blue goes in position here or clears. Although Felix may have left him no choice, because I think that could well be wide, right?
Yeah, this looks like it's just position.
But it would have been interesting to see whether Rob would have chosen to clear yellow and run with black, or to take the risk that Felix misses black.
So that looks good.
That looks very good.
Interesting choice now. What do you do with red?
Ooh. On the one hand, I wouldn't bet on Rob taking the hoop shot with blue there. And you could say yellow's going to have a shorter shot. You could say yellow's going to have a shorter shot.
This is a clearance.
I think this is the right decision, though. Because he's going to have that clearance with yellow no matter what. Ooh. Because black is not going for this hoop, right?
No. Well, black's definitely not going for this hoop now that red has missed. Which, you know, might be an argument for shooting with red, but...
Question is, I think Rob will be going for the wire here behind hoop 6. Sorry, hoop 5 even. Hoop 6 would be a shot and a half, but he's not got it.
He's not got it.
And actually, black's escaped a little bit.
Black's escaped a lot, but Felix still needs to hit a 12-yard clearance in the middle.
And he needs to hang around. If he wants to maximise his advantage, he needs to hang around.
He doesn't actually need to hit blue that far, though, does he?
He needs to hit it at least out of stop shot range.
Yeah, so...
Hitting it a yard or two stops
blue
blue
from running. He wants it a couple of yards past the peg, I think, at least.
Hitting...
I think he'll probably go fuller pace than that, though. Yeah, this looks like it's got quite a big swing on it.
And if you're comfortable hitting hard, and you just need that ball gone, then fair enough.
Yeah, so all the balls are just going to come back now.
We saw some misapproaches to this hoop, right? So there's actually no real guarantee that blue's going to be in good hoop running position at the end of this shot.
It's still interesting. I'm still not entirely sure about that shot red at black.
If he hits, he swings the hoop round, right? Because yellow was ready to run. And black was never going to take that hoop shot on, I don't think. I can't really imagine any real circumstance where black wouldn't clear yellow. So in a way, he gets his cake and eats it. He gets to have 2 shots rather than 1. And then I guess the only real difference is that
that's in front.
The shot where if he hits, he gets the hoop, or at least has a hoop shot, is longer if he takes a red shot on. But then there's no guarantee that...
it looks like Alison and Helen have started game 3. So that must have been a game each.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got any other results from the singles yet.
But actually, just looking around, I think the Aussies are maintaining their lead. I think right now New Zealand might be pretty happy with taking a draw.
Yeah, so just looking at croquet scores, Pete won the first against Duncan.
Oh, that's a brilliant shot. So, I mean, Felix will be kicking himself at red's not in position. Because having just done a centre ball clearance, Rob just puts his ball back. And it's a real shame when that happens, when you do a centre ball clearance and your ball disappears anyway. because yellow travelled the grand total of maybe 14 yards after hitting that ball, sent it like
Yeah.
full in the face. But it does look a little bit like Rob's shooting at this.
This does look like Rob shooting at it.
And I'm not too sure why.
No, putting a ball in position looks kind of attractive, doesn't it? Red's a very difficult hoop shot.
I don't think red is a hoop shot. And I think if blue misses this,
Red's
you've all but gifted the hoop to Felix, right?
Well, no, you just need to hit a 15-yard clearance again, don't you?
You need to hit a 15-yard clearance to stay alive.
And he missed.
So,
I think he'll be taking the clearance on black with this.
I'm calling the hoop. No, a stop shot. A stop shot on black, and
Oh, the angle looks like he wants to go for the hoop.
no, I think that's just where he's.
No, and yeah, he's not even looking at the hoop.
There should be no doubt here. A stop shot and this hoop is all yours.
A little bit of run on with red.
Red travelled a little bit.
Yeah, black went a little bit off the lawn, didn't it? He could have afforded to not hit that quite a little
No,
bit
I
less
think that's probably more to do with not enough stop, like not enough grounding of the mallet.
Red is in a really nice place there, given that he's 6'5" down.
Absolutely, Felix is in a much better position than he was a few minutes ago. And Rob, by playing south, so i.e. nearer to the hoop than red, he kind of minimises Felix's chances for a flick off towards 13.
It can generate something towards 13 off that.
But
It's not much that he gets. Oh, that looks like it's running on a little bit as well.
And actually, as much as we talk about flicking off to the 13, it's a bit of a risk because if Rob does a return clearance, and he's been clearing very, very well, you've got a ball 20-something yards away, right?
Oh, and Rob wants to bring this ball in by the look of it.
So maybe it is half blocked. Do you reckon he was playing for a block then? Or do you reckon that was just, do you reckon he was just playing for position and it happened to roll into a block?
So difficult to say. It didn't really look like he looked at the line for the block, but...
But he's definitely caught some of the block, right? Because, in fact, it could be quite a lot. They're spending quite a lot of time trying to work out exactly where to bring this ball into.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough, because that boundary looks a little bit damaged there, so Rob is entirely entitled to bring that ball in. And you don't want a game or a hoop of this importance and quality being settled over something as trivial as I was taking my shot from a hole. But the time taken to place that ball suggests that he's only got a fraction of red available to him.
Yeah, that's still the shot he's taking.
Well,
That's okay.
that's okay. And to be honest, given that he only had probably half a ball max.
Well, we're basically just back to last rotation, aren't we? Red's putting a stop shot on black and all the other balls are miles away.
Yeah, but this stop shot's a little harder. And I think he's less likely, if anything, to hold position this time in hoop running position.
Oh, he
But
played that a little bit
actually-
more gently, and he's got a hoop shot out of it.
And actually, that's a good shot.
Yeah,
That's a
there's a
good shot.
little bit less pace on black there as well. I think that was
So this is a theme
nicely
that
measured.
this is a theme that we see quite often in GC, isn't it? Where trying to do two things in one shot is difficult, and it's a risk because you risk just failing to do anything. But if you can do two things in one shot, then you get a sort of advantage. And yeah, by holding position in hoop running position with red, Felix has eked himself out an advantage at this hoop again. The problem is that Rob's essentially looking for that one good clearance. And this is a shot potentially, which is a bit surprising. Perhaps Felix getting a bit fed up of. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I really don't know if that was necessary, but now it's happened. He's in a much better position than he was before, and he's really put the pressure on Rob there, I think. And now Rob's not only got to get rid of red, but well, he's just got to focus on getting rid of red here, right?
Yep, I think so.
And he's not.
Felix's shot broken the stalemate a little bit there.
And that's really seizing this game. I quite like that as a mindset. Like, given that he was 4-1 up and now he's 6-5 down, quite a lot of people would be feeling a bit defeatist right now, but that shows a really positive mindset. And this looks like a hoop, and I think I'll be settling for jaws here.
I think the issue with jaws though is if you just trickle through, it's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, a nice hoop shot, and he levels it off to 6-all.
Yep. So we've got a ball offside at hoop 12, which someone has just picked up, and I think might be moving to.
And the pressure's on now, right?
Yeah. So Felix.
Pressure's on, and what do you reckon?
Back to approach. Well, there's a hill here, isn't there?
Yeah, but one, Rob might not know about it, and two, I don't think the hill's on the right-hand side. I think it's on the left-hand side.
Has Felix actually asked for blue to be moved?
Yeah, he has, I think. There's no way he would have left it there. And
That looks good. It's in front.
it's deep.
It's deep, but it's in front.
That's deep.
It's in front.
The thing is, though, Felix has to go deeper, right? He may as well shoot at that. Or is he going to bank on Rob not taking position?
With a second ball and giving.
I mean,
It's tricky, isn't it? I don't know what Felix's philosophy at hoop 13 is in terms of these sorts of shots, but I imagine that he'll be shooting at this.
the thing is, where can you move black to? You can move black a yard or two.
I think the chance that you don't take there's a good chance that you're not taking that if you try and get in front of black.
Sorry.
Well, just fiddling with the microphone there.
Ooh, that requires a replay. That really requires a replay. That was it was always going to be an important shot, but I think he hit that about as well as he could, to be honest.
Yeah, it looked like it held towards the end, didn't it?
I think that when that left his mallet, that was a perfect shot. And at first, the hill looked like it was going to help him, you know, catch the left-hand edge, send black towards the corner.
Yes, I think this looks like he's
I'm not
Rob's
too sure
a
how.
couple of yards out. No, that looks good to me.
Not sure how well the replays are working at the moment, but never mind.
That looks like it might probably not quite blocked Yellow's shot from the boundary.
That would be real salt in the wound, but no, I think that's okay.
No, it's miles open by miles, isn't it?
The problem with clearing black, right, is that if you hit it, I'm not sure how much it gives you. Unless you catch a little bit of edge and send it towards a corner, I'm not sure how much it gives you.
Well, I think it's more that it's giving you that shot on blue, which you're not going to be guaranteed if you go between black and the hoop, because you could be on the far side of the lawn.
That's true.
And it gives you the option of running the hoop with yellow.
I suppose if you're pretty sure blue's going to take position, which really,
Ooh,
well,
that's going to hill though.
I mean,
That's a pretty good result.
that's extraordinary. I mean, I thought that was
Miles to the right.
miles off. I thought Felix vaguely knew there was a hill there and had vastly overcompensated, but that swung round. It was actually a very good position. You can see Robbie's stopping to think twice, right? And what's just happened there?
So yellow is a boundary ball.
Ah.
So I think Rob didn't like the position of it, so he's just moved it off the lawn a little bit.
Yeah. So boundary balls in golf croquet, they're not treated as part of the game until they're played.
Yeah, so they're outside agencies.
And for that reason, if it's in Rob's sight line or backswing or footing, or, you know, if he just doesn't want it there, he can move it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Right, so
Yellow
we
back
don't
to
know
where it
too much
was.
about Felix's philosophy here.
I think this will be a hoop shot.
Lots of people say, I just want one shot at 13. And whatever that shot is, I'm having it.
But
Because it's a pretty dreadful feeling when you turn down a shot at 13 and you don't get another one and you lose the game.
But red is a lot nearer than yellow.
Yeah.
This looks
Red
like
is
a
nearer than
clearance.
yellow,
This
and
is a
blue's a nice,
clearance.
easy clearance. But I tell you, I've been in this situation before
A few times.
a few times, and I'd still go for the hoop.
Why win a game 7-3 or 7-2 when you could win it 7-6 so well?
I thought you were going to say lose at 7-6.
Okay,
And
so
actually, yellow's
he's not got
gone
the
a
distance.
little wayward here.
He's not got the distance he would have wanted on blue, I don't think there.
I suppose the silver lining is it'll be a very good shot by Rob if he doesn't leave red a 7-yarder.
Well, I think if Robert hits this, Felix has still got a 7-yarder, and
Yeah.
I think he will be taking that 7-yarder.
So, I mean, Rob will be pretty unfortunate to leave Yeah, to leave Felix a shot that was... sorry, Rob will be pretty happy if he leaves Felix a harder shot than he already had with yellow. Again, this boundary is...
Looks like it's causing a bit of trouble for the players.
I think the issue here is he's saying I can either bring it in a yard along the line or I can shift it a foot to the left. And it's one of those judgment calls. Like, I think the law says you bring it in along the line you're playing it on. But perhaps Rob is pointing out that actually it shortens his shot substantially.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because it's quite a straight shot.
Yeah. Anyway, so long as both players are happy, it's all good. This is a pressure shot. Taking his time. It's important that he's happy before he takes his shot. Wonderful.
Oh, great
Wonderful.
clearance. And then he's got the perfect position on that boundary with blue as
Yeah.
well. Great shot. I
I
think
mean,
this will be a hoop shot with red.
I think he probably
Oh, I
aimed...
thought it had gone a little bit further
No,
across than
not
that.
quite. So red was close enough to the boundary, and from where blue was, I think he would have taken a huge angle. It would have required quite a big angle to drive red into a difficult position. I mean, Rob probably aimed pretty much pinpoint what he was aiming for. Sorry, probably hit pinpoint what he was aiming for. But he was right to aim for middle, right?
Yeah.
Taking the angle's greedy. And now Felix gets his shot. And this is do or die, wouldn't you say? Ooh, wow.
How deep do you go with black? 3
I
yards?
think you sneak in front. I think you sneak in front.
It looks like the angle.
He's going for the wire. Or is it the block?
I think it's the wire.
The wire and then the clearance?
Yeah. The clearance is pretty straight down towards corner 4.
Yeah, but it's not a very nice looking hoop shot. If that's where he's aiming to put the ball, that looks pretty angled.
Yeah, that doesn't really look like a hoop shot. That looks like a draws attempt.
Yeah. And if yellow's not clearing black, it's doing something else, and chances are it's just going in front, right?
Yeah. Jumping position somewhere.
I'm not sure I like this. I think I would have gone slap bang in front.
So that looks like it's wide from yellow. It is quite far away. He's got distance between it and the hoop, so it's
You say
possible
that,
it's runnable.
but he's swinging.
He's swinging. I don't think he can see that. No. Okay, no, he can see
Care
most
to
of that.
reassess?
Oh, just missed out on the block.
So cracking shot.
Yeah, looked like he was
Almost got the
playing for
block.
yeah, looked like he was playing for the block as well, given the
Yeah,
reaction.
but
I know.
he'll be happy. I mean, he won't be happy that Rob's got a hoop shot.
Okay, so this is Rob's first hoop shot at 13.
It's his second. He had a shot.
He
So
did.
after his first approach,
did
he
straight
had
away.
had a
He
shot
did
from
straight
about
away.
5 or 6 yards, and it was a good shot. It just didn't go through. And this could be an important shot as well. Well, of course, it's an important shot. No matter what happens, this will be an important shot. But brilliant.
And it's through.
Brilliant.
So, first game to Rob,
So
7-6.
So whilst they're clearing up the balls, it'd be good if we could see that hoop shot again, because this was this was what won him the game. Yeah, a few problems with the instant replay again, I guess.
So, I think now's a good time to just do a quick recap on what's been happening in some of the other singles games out here. So we have Eleanor Ross beat Fleur Brockway in their first game 7-5. Alison Sharp and Helen Reeves are a game each, and I've just started that one with Alison 1-0 up in second. Edmund Fordyce is 1 game up against Greg Fletcher, so he won the first 7-4. And we had the win for Ed Wilson against George Coulter earlier in the session this afternoon.
And looking over, it seems like Duncan Dixon and Pete Landry have levelled off their games, and they're currently at Hoop 1 in the third game.
Yeah, so the first was 7-6 to Pete, and Duncan won the second 7-5, so it looked like they were two pretty close games. So that leaves the final match score 6-3 to Australia at the moment. So it's 8 matches to draw and 9 matches to win.
Yeah. So talking of 7-6s, pretty close game, pretty close scoreline.
Pretty, yeah.
But actually the order of hoops or the order of scoring wasn't close. It was quite yo-yoing, wasn't it?
It was, and I think, I don't know, who do you what do you think? Who do you think's favourite for the game 2?
Well, it's impossible to call, I think. I mean, at the start of last game, sorry, at the start of the first game,
Felix got off to a really
Felix
good
came
start
out
in
swinging.
game 1, yeah.
And despite being 4-1 down, Rob turned it around, right?
He did, yeah. Rob started hitting his clearance as well, didn't he? And
But I wouldn't say that Rob dominated the second half of the game. Like, he ran a hell of a lot more hoops, but he didn't. Like,
But
Felix was involved in every last
there
one of them.
were a lot of interactions. I mean, Hoop 10 and Hoop 12 were both real battles, weren't they, for both players?
Yeah.
So we've currently got the camera on lawn 3. So we've got Edmund against Greg.
But yeah, I think they're shortly going to restart, maybe. Perhaps not. But yeah, and actually both players played pretty similar styles, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean,
I'd say so.
sometimes when one person's a big shooter, they try to embroil the other person in a shooting match because it plays to their strengths.
And you just need to not fall into that trap if you're not a shooter.
Exactly, but I think that match suited both of the players' play styles.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
The question is, does Felix do anything differently this game? Or does he say, you know what, 7-6, close result. If a couple of hits of Rob misses this time, and I hit a few of my misses, you know, I'll win 7-6 instead. And it's just, you know, I'm happy with the way I played. I'm not going to change anything.
I don't think there's anything drastic that he would need to change. I mean, he was really unlucky with that clearance at hoop 6 where he hopped right over Rob's ball.
Yeah.
There were I was going to say there were perhaps a few shots that maybe both players played that where they tried to get very tight to the hoop and
yeah, there was a couple of times where they made life
got
a bit difficult for themselves by not quite taking position. But it's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky because if you hang back too far and guarantee being in front of the hoop, you then got a hoop shot that you might not really want to take.
But we did see quite a lot of decent length hoops in that game, which was nice. Rob's ran a really nice hoop 3, didn't he, with red just off that wire, which was nice. And a few other shots throughout the game where I was going to say both players took on quite long shots at hoop 8 as well.
Yeah.
So they've not been afraid to take on their longer hoops here.
And they've been backing themselves to hit 15-yarders consistently, right?
Yeah, and for the most part they have been.
And they've also been backing their opponents to hit 15-yarders.
Yeah, there's a great amount of respect for both players for the other player.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I was going to say the camera is currently on Greg and Edmund. I think the score is 4-3 to blue and black.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Do you think Webby and Fletcher will be taking a long break after this first game, or?
Well, it looks like Webby hung around the lawn, and it was Rob who chose to go have a break.
Okay, that's interesting. With Rob being the winner, he's probably just gone to the toilet and.
Yeah, most likely. But no, I can't imagine they'll be out too long. But overall, it's not looking too great for the Aussies for the New Zealanders right now. They were down after the doubles, and then I think Ed took a quick win
in the singles.
I think it was close.
This afternoon. Yeah, I think both games were 7-6 or something similar. Yeah, but
that puts Australia in a really commanding position.
Yeah, so 6-3 currently in the test. We've got
and with a couple of games going to the third already, Australia just needs to pick up, well, 1 or 2 really.
Yeah, so the singles games this afternoon seem to have been much quicker. than some of the doubles games that we had this morning.
Well, that's pretty typical because there's no, there should be no need for discussion between any shots. And yeah. So what's happening at Hoop 8 over here? It looks like Greg is in two minds about whatever shot. I think
blue and red are touching. Well,
blue and red are touching. And is it blue to play? Blue doesn't seem to have too much it can do about this situation,
I don't think it can, yeah. Is black in hoop running position? Yeah, it looks like it must be.
So I think we've restarted.
Yeah, it looks like the refs have just come out to bang some of the hoops in. Probably worthwhile after players have been giving them a bit of a bash.
Well, actually, Felix has already played into hoop position,
Okay.
although actually he's gone a bit far. And actually he's gone quite similar to where Rob ended up at the start of last game.
Oh, yeah, so I think we'd expect Rob to go to a similar position.
Yeah,
to
absolutely
Felix,
correct.
And
In fact, this is deja vu almost, right?
I think that's gone a little bit further than Felix did. That's a little bit more angled. Yeah, so just playing red in front, and that looks like it all might die a little bit before the hoop.
He's
Quite get
overcompensated
enough
there,
power
I
over
think.
the crest in front of hoop 5 there.
So for those of you who weren't watching yesterday, there's on this lawn there seems to be a bit of local knowledge required. There's a little bump about hoop 5, and when you're taking your first shot, you've got to be careful that you give enough power to get over that bump. But then once you're over that bump,
It's
you've
all
got to be
downhill.
careful it doesn't roll off. And we've seen some players get the balance exactly right. We've seen quite a lot more players fall foul of this, and in fact, Rob's just fallen foul of it again.
Wow, that's quite a long way over.
It's a
That's
long
nearly
way.
off the boundary.
Yeah, and that was position, right? So he must have overplayed that by 4, 5 yards.
Yeah, so it looks like yellow's just being played to tight position in front of hoop 1 here. That she'll be blocking blue's hoop shot, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's got that.
I think that's the right decision. I mean, you'd expect black to clear, but it sort of limits blue's options. Clearing red does nothing, clearing yellow does nothing. Blue's just got to find a spot where red can't really get rid of it. Having said that, it looks like he's shooting towards towards yellow in the hoop. No, he's changed his mind. I think here you just got to go deep and give yourself a hoop shot. I suppose perhaps you might be worried what happens if red gets the block. Red could potentially block black's clearance, and that will cause a lot of headaches.
We're just having 2 balls off the boundary there, isn't it?
That's a simpler shot. I think if you want to go out and win the hoop right now, you block black's clearance. 2 balls off is just safety, and if you're feeling a bit greedier, you can send blue towards corner, such that red's got a hoop shot, and he's got it backwards. He's got it backwards, so blue went off pretty much bang in front of hoop 1.
Yeah, he really
red's
would
the
have
ball in
preferred.
corner.
Really would have preferred the balls to be the other way around there, but.
And actually, I mean, a 7-yard hoop run, it's no gimme at all, so
That's
it's
unfortunate.
not a big problem. But it's a hoop shot available when you could have prevented it.
Yeah,
And that's a good clearance.
That's nice clearance. Black's
That's a very good
hung
clearance.
around. And yellow didn't need to go off the far side of the lawn, and it hasn't. So
No.
I think it'll just be yellow back into position here.
Yeah.
Probably trying to block blue's hoop shot.
At that distance, though, it's
Yeah,
going to be a good shot to get a block.
it is. It's probably just going to be a ball in front.
Having said that, no, it hasn't reached the block spot.
No.
Oh, sorry, it's gone past it even.
It has, but it's a nice ball in front, and it's on the far side of the hoop. So black's clearance on yellow is going to be taking it past the hoop
Yeah.
line. It's probably going to be quite difficult for black to clear yellow and retain a position in front of the hoop.
But imagine right now if blue and red were the other way around.
Yeah, so this is a
Rob
hoop
would
shot.
have
This is a hoop shot with blue, isn't it?
Whereas if blue was in corner, he wouldn't really have.
No, he'd have to be playing the block
Ooh.
just off the right wire there.
So it didn't go through, but actually it's not cost him too much.
No, it was a nice sat on a nice guarding position near that
Yeah.
far boundary.
Actually, I suppose there might be an issue here, because red goes in front of the hoop. Black's got to do something about yellow, right? And what's he going to do? He's going to clear yellow off to the side boundary.
He is where it's got a nice dispatching position.
And actually,
on blue.
ironically,
Oh, is that a block?
Rob could have Rob could have perhaps done with an even bigger rejection, so that blue's off that boundary.
Yeah.
Because right now, yellow could,
He's going
if he's
to look,
feeling aggressive,
he's just gone to look at blue, hasn't he?
yeah, if he's feeling aggressive,
You-
yellow could clear blue up long.
Yeah, so I think you just want to be pushing yellow a little bit past.
But if you do that,
The hoop
then
running
yellow
position.
can turn around and clear black and hold position for the hoop.
You can't afford to give yellow a short, easy clearance on blue to corner 2, though. Blue to corner 2 or corner 3. Because
That's true.
that should be hoop over.
This is a very tricky shot.
Yeah, he's gone for the gentle nudge. Yeah, no, I think that's
And that's
good.
a good outcome.
Yes. Ooh.
That's, no, I think,
Might be far enough to try and tempt Felix into that clearance.
the thing is that clearance, if he catches a right-hand edge, it's disaster for him,
I
right?
know, but it's only 4 yards.
Yeah, but if you catch
It's
a right-hand edge,
it's a tempter.
but if you catch a right-hand edge there with yellow, it's yellow that disappears and blue goes nowhere.
Looks like he's declining it. Looks like he's going to put a ball in front.
And that's actually a very good shot by Rob, because there aren't too many positions where you can put yellow, where yellow can't just clear blue a long way away or clear black and hold position. And actually, that's a nice shot. Had yellow been much closer to black, Felix could have played for like taking a tiny bit of angle and trying to hold position in front of the hoop. But Rob found a good distance between black and yellow there. And so all Felix could really do was that shot, and that was very well executed, I think.
Yeah, nice stop dead there on yellow and good distance on black. So this will just be a clearance on red.
Yeah, do you reckon he'll go for the flick off, trying to get blue in front of the hoop and red far away?
Yeah, it's the safest place for blue, isn't it?
I think so. So he's
Not
stopped red
quite.
running the hoop, but he's got the same problem as he had before.
Yeah, and yellow's got a clearance to corner 4 on blue.
I suppose red needs to be a little careful that when coming back into position, he doesn't block his own clearance.
So I think as long as I think the mark in front of the hoop is probably maybe 2 or 3 feet. So as long as Felix heads a little bit deeper than that from where he is, which I think he probably should be doing from there.
I think he can
then
still
it's
give himself a
fine.
yard.
Yeah,
I think he can safely give himself a yard or so
yard or a little
length
bit
hoop
more. Yeah.
shot.
Oh, it doesn't look like he has.
that's,
He's gone very tight.
That's gone very tight. I think he's not blocked, but he must have been a bit worried there for a moment. He's gone to check. Body language looks okay. He didn't seem to get a... he
Shake
didn't
his
seem to
head.
slouch or shake his head or anything like that.
I think it's probably just open
I
there.
think it's open, but
It's very tight.
I'd be intrigued to know if that's where he meant to put that ball.
Well, there were a couple of hills around there yesterday.
But he went very tight.
Yeah.
Anyway, as it stands, he's in a strong position.
Right. Yep. So Rob is over near hoop 3 and is playing back towards hoop 1. This looks like it might be a clearance.
I think that's wise.
Yep. So this is a shot at red.
He's hit that well.
Ooh, just missed. So I think he's expecting that he'll be taking a similar long shot with blue.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking at yellow clearing blue.
And actually, from that distance, I don't think he's going to get great hoop shot position anyway. And the angle he's shooting at, he's kind of ended up with a hoop shot anyway.
And he gave himself the chance of hitting red as well.
Yeah, and he's given himself 2 shots to stop this red ball running, because it's not just about hoop 1. With red ball there.
Yeah, it's in very commanding position for being able to run all the way down towards hoop 2. Or at least, even if it's not in hoop running position, a useful clearing position.
Yeah.
Really limiting where Rob can take position at 2.
So we saw a lot of clearing and then counter clearing. Would you be tempted to do the block here and say, you've been clearing really well, I'm not going to give you a shot?
Oh.
He's
he
got
did
something, right?
Something came into his head there, didn't it? The line is good. The line is very good for playing the block, and that looks like what he's chosen to play.
Oh, I think that's a good block, right?
That looks like it's good, but I mean, it's got to. It looks, from what we've seen, it looks like it's going to have covered all of the balls.
That's true, but yellow runs.
It looks like Rob's lining up for the bombard.
These are very difficult. Like
They are,
no
but
matter
red and yellow are quite close together.
you say that there's about a metre or so between them. I don't think it takes much offline to miss a bombard. See, so he moved red, but it didn't do
Move
enough.
it far enough, yeah.
And actually, that's a very good shot.
Yeah, to
But
move
it's
red
not.
at all is.
And I wonder if that's something we'll see more of, because Felix was doing exceptional clearing. But he could begin to question, what's the point of clearing if Rob clears back? And maybe I'll just take the shot away and do the block. The question is it one of Felix's strengths? And does he want to swap a shooting match with Rob for a blocking match?
Well, oh, he could be taking the view that, you know, he tried the shooting match with Rob, it didn't work out. He's going to mix it up and try something different and see how it pans out for the first 6 hoops of the game.
And I think actually mixing it up is good. If Rob just realises that Felix is going to take a clearance every single time, then he can plan for it. But if Felix shows that he's willing to do the occasional block, then Rob's also got to make plans for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Changes the dynamics a little bit, doesn't it?
And actually, that failed hoop could be really costly.
Well, it should be.
It's a bit awkward footing, but
Well,
suddenly...
It looked like he really didn't like the positioning of where blue was in relation to red, didn't he? And then
Yeah.
now you've... I mean, this is quite a short clearance, but...
Yeah, but we're back to that thing of yellow needs to hang around. If yellow clears blue and holds in hoop running position, Felix is back in this hoop. If yellow disappears...
You say that, but black has disappeared down to hoop 2. Red is still sort of in the mix near hoop 5. So even if Felix goes on a few yards with yellow, he's still got red around to maybe give it a nudge. Oh, hello.
Talking about giving it a nudge.
Oh, this has got to be a nice promotion opportunity, surely.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he even I don't think he's even got anything to lose by it, right?
Well,
So
no, black's.
If he hits yellow in front of the hoop, even if it's not wide from black, which I think it's asking a bit much to rush a ball to wide position, but even if black clears, he's just clearing him straight off this boundary. And Phoenix has still then got a choice of either the clearance or the hoop shot, right?
So this looks like it's going quite deep to guard against.
Don't know if that's the right idea.
No, I think you need to protect something against this rush.
I think you just go tight position, right? You go tight position. This has got to be a rush, right? Oh, he's
that's
not hit it hard enough. Oh. The thing is, right? Jaws is okay. With blue where it is, Jaws is fine.
Wow, it's a 6-yard jump.
Yeah, I think that's fine. 6-yard jumps. If that's what your opponent's resorting to, I think you'll be pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Rob made a bit of an error there. I think he wanted to be a bit tighter to that hoop. And now he's in a really unusual situation. If he centre balls this yellow off the boundary, yellow can then clear blue. And yeah, I think blue wanted to be... Oh dear, that's really unfortunate. So...
I assume it just goes back.
It goes back, absolutely. But yellow was critical, right? If only we had cameras pointing at it and we could say exactly where it was. We could do Hawkeye or whatever else. So you can't see. Maybe on the right-hand side of a lawn later you'll be able to see. But essentially down the middle of between lawns, you've got this black drain pipe, which is quite common in New Zealand and Australia. And around the other edges, you've got this concrete, not concrete slabs, right? And when a ball hits a concrete slab, it just bounces right back, and somehow it seems to bounce back with more speed than it hit it with.
Not sure how the physics works there.
Yeah. Email us if you know. And normally it doesn't matter, right? Normally it just doesn't matter, but in this situation it's just really unfortunate.
I think that's about where it was.
I think it's about where it was too. But I don't know, before a tricky shot, the last thing you want is
something like that.
Something like that. But I don't think this changes anything. I think it can still jaws.
I think he might think he needs to go for this hard, though.
I think that's an error. I think this is jaws. I think jaws here is exactly what you want.
Yeah, force Rob to try the jump, and I think Rob would try the jump with both balls here.
Yeah, I think he'll be right to too. But I mean, along the ground, 50-50 is a very good ratio at 7 yards.
Oh, this has got a big swing on it.
Big swing.
I think this is getting off the boundary.
Well,
oh, nice shot.
Well, that's excellent. That's 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 to New Zealand there.
Yeah. Actually, can we see a slow-mo replay of that? Is that something that's doable? Because I'll be intrigued to see, since we've got the technology, to see how much the hoop actually moves. Still a bit buggy, I think. But it'll be intriguing to see how much the ball moves. Sorry, the hoop moves when you clatter into it.
Oh, and that blue looks like it's just gone past the line of the hoop.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much bang level with the hoop.
But where's red going to go? To the side, you reckon? This looks like he's going quite wide. Oh, oh yeah, I'm nowhere near yellow. Good. Yeah, that looks like it's quite
Okay.
wide, about level with the hoop as well.
So blue can't run the hoop, and I think red going there is simply saying, if I go deep or close to the hoop, blue's just going to turn around and clear me.
And I know this.
And I know this. So instead, by going there, red's in pretty good clearance position, but also blue can't do much about him. And oh, it's the same thing's happened. Same thing. It's very awkward there, because really that black wants to be tight. I think you're kind of forced with black to go tight to the hoop, with the view to taking away red's clearance by doing a block with blue.
Yeah, black needs to be tight, I think.
But by going tight, you fall into the same trap of, you're falling into that hill area. Whatever happened to blue's just happened to black as well. And you just gotta hope you go slightly to the other side. I don't know.
That looks like he's playing to the spot to try and get black hampering blue's swing on yellow. Might have got it. Not sure. Rob definitely didn't like some of the balls near his feet, so it'll be interesting to see what he thinks about balls near his mallet on his swing.
It's got to be the block here, right? Blue trundles in front of the hoop, blocking yellow's shot. I think if red clears black, you risk black turning around and hitting yellow. Okay, it's going to be like a 20, well, up to 20 yards, probably more like 15-yard shot.
Is that good enough?
I mean, to be honest, at that distance, I think I'd bank on
Felix
Felix jumping even if it isn't. But and if red says, okay, I don't want blue there, then black just clears yellow with a stop shot, and neither are particularly appealing to Felix.
Yeah, so this looks like it's the clearance, red on black.
Really? I reckon red on blue.
No, this looks like it's red on black, doesn't it? Oh, no, you're right.
Well, that's not what he was going for. I can say that pretty sure. And
not sure it actually helps him, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot better than it could have been, given that he didn't
get a good contact on
blue. Because red could have and probably should have disappeared there.
But black is very close to yellow, and blue's got a nice thing off red, and that's a really nice stop shot.
And is he going to get lucky with where yellow ends up? Not quite.
Not quite.
So what do you do here? I suppose if you nail blue, it's going to be wide from red, isn't it? It's a bit hyper aggressive.
If you get anything good on blue, it's probably wide from red.
If you get blue to that boundary,
it looks good, doesn't it?
Pretty unfortunate not to have it wide, right?
I think this is I think.
Oh yeah, well spotted.
It's a nice shot.
He'll be super unfortunate if that's not wide. Pretty lucky that red is there at all, but he's capitalised on that nicely.
Yeah. I was going to say, if Rob's got any of this, it's not much.
He might actually be better off going through the back of the hoop.
It looks like he's got something. It looks like he's shooting at it. It looks like he's shooting at it. Oh.
I really can't imagine he's got much of this.
No, but it's like 6 inches from the hoop.
Yeah, I think if you go through this backwards, you've got something. And so long as you don't stick on the wire, there's probably no harm.
That's what he's gone for.
Ooh, that's a brilliant shot. Enough. That is an excellent shot.
Nice hoop run.
But yeah, had it been hoop 7, that would have been phenomenal. But as it turns out, he's done a cracking shot there and got nothing for it.
Oh.
No.
That's not a run.
He's taken his clip off.
Oh, he has, I know, it's just trickled through.
But even so.
Wow. He got rejected from hoop 1 as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
From something similar.
I mean, his footing was a little bit uneven at hoop 1, but anyway, New Zealand 2, Australia 0 now, so.
Not sure what he's got to get over to hoop 3 with black.
I don't know, we briefly saw a side-on shot of a camera. It was a bit wobbly, but I think it's come away from the hoop enough, and actually with black trundling a bit far, I don't think he's in too much under too much pressure to do anything too exciting with red, right?
No, so he just went to have a look at red to see what he thought he could get on it. I think he's probably going to have another look at black to see if he thinks he actually needs to move it.
Ooh.
I think he probably needs to have a shot at it, doesn't he?
I don't know. I think black might just about run, but if it runs, it'll run by a foot. And when you're 2-0 up, your opponent running hoop 3 by a foot is fine.
Yeah,
what you don't want, well, I think what you don't want is black jawsing. And to stop black jawsing, yellow needs to go hoop jumping position. But that is not what he wants. That's really not good.
Yeah, it just gives Rob free rein to just put a nice ball
Yeah.
in front with blue and for black to clear yellow to the other side of the lawn, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's had a practice with black. Now blue, if blue's good, but same
Oh,
thing's
it's gone
happened.
to the same. Oh, it's a little bit shorter. I mean, it is better, but you're not going to be particularly thrilled with having to run blue with blue, are you? Although he did it, he ran a really angled 9 in the last game.
Yeah, but when you've got 2 positions at a hoop, you should be expecting a bit more than having to run a really angled hoop. And yeah, like I say, he'll be wanting and potentially needing to run this up to hoop 4.
Yeah, so Webby taking a 2-0 lead in this one, just like he did in the game 1.
Yeah.
So, seen a similar start to game 2 here. Oh, and he's taken a shot with red. Anna's got them both.
Wow. Wow. I didn't even know that was on the cards. And that just...
Wow, blue and black were very close together, so I think it's quite likely.
No, but I meant
that
the
if they-
clearance. I didn't think... I thought he could get enough of a mallet to it to have like a position. But I thought the hoop was enough of a distraction that he wouldn't want to take a shot on. Maybe black had a much easier hoop shot, or blue had a much easier hoop shot than we thought. Or maybe red wasn't impeded at all.
So I think yellow's going to tight position here.
Yeah, I think he needs to block blue. I mean, blue's probably not planning to run the hoop. The issue is blue will clear yellow. And to minimise that risk, I think he needs to put the hoop directly
Yeah,
behind, and I think that's a
good.
good shot.
That's great. I think that's blocking black on the hoop as well as it currently stands.
Maybe just snuck into blocking position.
It's a very similar position to where that his red was in game 1, isn't it?
Exactly.
Black's a little bit further over to the right-hand side, though.
So what is Rob's shot here? I think this is position time. I'm not convinced he needs to do anything about yellow right
it
now.
looks like he's playing the clearance.
I don't think that's a right decision.
No, I don't either. I mean, what's red? Red's not going to move black because it's just moving it into better position.
I mean, that's.
That's fine,
I suppose
isn't
if black is blocked from the hoop run, maybe if he went to clear yellow, yellow may bang into the hoop.
That's
I think
interesting.
there-
I'm sort of surprised
You
didn't
say it's
shoot it.
interesting. That's an
Ooh,
excellent shot.
That's a nice shot. Yeah.
And this, do you reckon this is a shift in strategy from Webby?
Yeah,
Of
I do.
shooting, maybe Rob's got the edge on me on shooting, so let's
Something else.
try this instead.
Which is nice. I quite like mixing the strategy up. If you know,
Yeah.
if he doesn't think it's been working, try something else.
And it's
And it
impressive from Webby that he's got both tools in the kit, right?
Yeah, but it's not that surprising, is it?
What, for a 2700 ranked player?
Mm.
Don't know, not seen too many play.
Oh, a little nudge on there, black onto blue.
It
red
actually
there.
could work out quite nicely. Because I think he's inadvertently set himself up a promotion to 3 now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cut, I think, but yeah, I mean, you know, we are talking about a former AC world champion, so
Yeah. And with red
at
having
7 yards.
and with red having disappeared down the lawn, you know, if blue rushes black in front of the hoop
But
here,
what's yellow going to do with it? Yeah.
No. Blue can rush black in front of the hoop, and then red is next to play, right?
Yeah.
So red's got to hit a 20-yarder. If Rob gets this rush done, he's got to be clear favourite for hoop 3, right?
Yeah. So that looks like what he's lining up at the moment.
Has it got enough legs on it? I think it does.
Yeah.
That's
that
very
looks
good. That's very good. So it's absolutely critical when playing a promotion in GC that you get a hoop shot. Because if you don't have a hoop shot, blue's out of, the ball that you're doing the rushing with, so here blue is out of position. And if Felix can just feed his other ball in, it doesn't really matter that you can just clear yellow easily, because you're always that shot behind. So even though it's tempting, especially with AC, to try to rush a ball near the hoop, you just have to guarantee the hoop shot. And Rob did that nicely. And yeah, now he's taking that hoop shot, it seems.
Yeah, nice hoop.
Nice hoop.
Looks like it's going
Nice
through
hoop.
to the boundary on the far side. So
Yeah.
that is 2-1. So Rob getting his first points on the scoreboard for this game.
And that's interesting, actually, because Felix tried the blocking game, and to be honest, I think it was working.
Yeah, he's done a couple of good ones.
I think, because
I think
Rob won that hoop on the basis of promotion, and that promotion only happened because of a sort of fluky...
opportune, yeah.
Yeah, some sort of fluky bumping into partner ball. And
Yeah,
I kind of hope Felix sticks with this blocking play.
I think he will. I don't think anything's happened with it to put him off doing it.
No. I think he'll recognise that he lost that hoop because of... it's difficult to call it a fluke because Rob played the promotion and the hoop shot very well. But Felix played that hoop
But the
pretty
opportunity arose to play
Yeah.
the promotion from...
Yeah. And it's pretty unforeseen circumstance.
And what could Felix couldn't have done anything with yellow to disrupt the rush. It wasn't like the balls were really close to
No, I think he
yellow
would
and
have
he
been
could have
foolish
got
to.
rid of them. No, it's
With
just
the power of rushes is that I think trying to disrupt a rush is just never worth it. It's important to make them play it. The problem is if you're banking on a player who's predominantly played AC to mess up a rush, it's
a rush at 7 yards. I mean, you see quite a lot of people.
A rush to 7 yards away, but the rush itself was only a handful of feet, right?
Yeah. I mean, you see quite a lot of people you see some people trying to set up the rush from hoop 12 to hoop 13, which is a pretty long rush in itself, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think at that stage, they're probably saying, my chance of running hoop 13 is pretty low already. So even though I don't like the long rush, I'm making the best of a bad situation. So Rob sliced yellow in lawn there a little bit. Probably didn't catch as much of yellow as he would have hoped. And I don't think Felix has been as unlucky to be blocked on blue. But maybe red's a bit of a distraction.
Ooh, that wasn't what he was aiming for.
Wow.
So that leaves Rob with no other balls.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to go 2-all.
That could actually be quite a quick swing from 2-0 to 2-all. And I wouldn't say... I'd say, nevertheless, they were quite an even 2 hoops on the whole, even though they were ended fairly abruptly, or at least... Well, anyway, let's see. Well, he'll be pretty disappointed with that, I think.
Yeah, so it's just all the other balls to play back in, isn't it?
Yeah. With Felix playing first, so you've got to say Felix has probably got the slight edge at this hoop now.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because it's one of these corner hoops again. And that boundary is only 7 yards away.
Yeah, but I think right now that also feeds into Felix's advantage because blue will be doing the... Well, it looks like black's doing the first clearance. I'm not sure he gains too much by hitting this clearance.
So blue's a little bit off screen. So blue is sat smack bang in front of hoop 5. Yeah, it's 2 feet in front of hoop 5.
But I'm not sure how much he gets from this clearance.
Yeah, he's lost black as well, hasn't he?
He's lost black.
Okay, well, this is just 2 balls in front from Felix.
And you can tell from Rob's stance that
he's not very happy.
He's kind of just realised that was a little bit like that. The success of that shot depended on black hanging around near the hoop.
Now Felix just needs to put 2 balls in front to put the pressure on. And that is ball number 1.
And what I like about that position is that there is no chance that when blue hits yellow that he's holding onto hoop running position, is there?
No, it's on the far side and it's quite tight as well, so the angle plays in his favour as well.
And I think really Rob needs blue off the lawn here as well.
I think he will be aiming for that. He's been making sure of that on quite a lot of the previous shots he's been playing. Oh,
he's not quite reached.
But it's okay. It's deep enough that yellow won't be looking at that.
Yeah. I suppose yellow can only clear to corner. Had blue gone north, i.e. The other side of yellow, blue ending up just off the boundary would have been a catastrophe for Rob. But actually there, Felix can maybe lengthen blue shot by 4 yards, 5 yards.
I don't think he'll be taking that shot.
I mean...
It's not worth it.
I mean, naturally you want Rob to have a longest possible clearance, but if it means sticking your ball in corner 4 to do it, is not attractive. And cutting to wide line is just way too ambitious. This should just be position, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice position with black.
I think it's
Ooh,
rolled
it's
a
run
little
on a little,
far
isn't it?
actually. I think that's maybe 2 or 3 yards angled. And I don't know, it's a bit of a dilemma for Webby. I think had black been really good position, yellow would be clearing black right now, right? But with black being a little bit out, I think yellow's got the luxury of being able to just put a block in. The problem is, if he doesn't get the block and blue clears red, then that attempted block that yellow's about to play just turns into cannon fodder for black next turn, right?
Mm.
But still, the block's the right line of play, and he's not got it, has he? I don't think he's got it.
Looks like he's lining up for clearance.
Yeah. That's an excellent shot.
So I think we have had a second game win for Edmund Fordyce against Greg Fletcher on the far lawn, which gives another game to the Kiwis, which I think will change the match score to 6-4. So the Kiwis are catching up a little bit.
So that match has ended, has it? Because there still seems to be balls on the lawn.
Yeah, so I think they've... Oh, perhaps he's not run hoop 13. I thought he'd just dribbled through.
Seems like a very strange place to stop. There seems to be a ball in the jaws of hoop 13.
I thought it had trickled through, but...
Anyway, in the meanwhile, Felix has played back in front of 4, and actually red is very nice position. And with blue having disappeared off towards hoop 3, I don't know. Even though yellow's easily clearable by black, and black will probably hold position, you're still banking on this 20-yard clearance by red. Sorry, by blue on red. Oh dear, Rob. That's...
It's quite interesting. I mean, in game 1, would you not have backed him to take on that hoop shot with black rather than take the clearance on yellow there?
I mean, he took on a similar hoop shot. Yeah.
Oh, that's gone through. Body language says I definitely didn't want that to go through.
But why didn't he want that to go through?
Because look at the position of red and black. If he'd
Oh,
put
that's
that,
greedy.
if he'd put in, the, if
That's
he'd put,
greedy though, because
if he'd put that in the jaws, red would have been able to get a really nice flick in front of 5, dispatching black to corner 1.
you say that, but blue's got an awkward position. You trade that flick for blue coming
that's a
back
hill.
halfway, and well, he's been unlucky. He's been lucky there. He's unlucky that it hilled, but once it hilled, he's lucky it didn't glue to the back of the hoop there.
Yeah, I think you've got to go. The question is, how deep do you go here? Because if you go red,
I think you go 4 yards deep. Blue can't clear red very far.
That's true. Yeah.
If you go too deep here, blue just sneaks in front of the hoop, right?
Yeah, you definitely want to be making blue play this clearance here. I think he might be tempted to play a stop shot on black, actually.
I don't think it earns you anything. The stop shot on black, if it works, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? If it works, black comes in position and blue clears red. If it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. You know, red flicks off to the middle of nowhere, black comes in position.
That's what he's playing, though.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no. He's going...
4 yards in front, thank you.
That looks a little bit more than 4 yards.
4.5 yards in the front, thank you.
That looks like 5 or 6. I think that's probably too deep, isn't it? I think this is going to be 2 balls in front, isn't it?
I don't know. I think you want that. I think you want it at the point where blue is beginning to question whether it should clear red.
I don't think it's a question at that distance. I think it's too far. That's nice, but it's not blocking red on the hoop.
It's not blocking red.
So this is going to be yellow or black. Safety clearance. And then I think it'll be blue to just block red.
Does he need to do this?
What else are you going to do?
I'd be tempted to put yellow behind black so it's hidden from blue. I mean...
Sit. You want that yellow to die down. He's lost it.
I think it's okay. I think that's okay. Blue needs to get the block here. And we've already seen a hill at this hoop. Blue shot hill to get there. And now he's playing up it. And it needs to block. It's just got
Yeah,
in position.
that's got it. It's fine.
So, clear, position or jump?
Oh, not a jump. Not unless you're
Not unless you're... What?
Toby.
Shout out to Toby. I don't know about that.
I think. Well, I think the result's okay. I mean,
Black
He's
wide
gonna
from
have to-
red is very strong here, and you can. And if it's not wide and trundles forward, then blue can clear red.
well, I think but I think you're
And that
resigning.
is exceptional position.
I think you're just resigning yourself to the fact that you're going to have to hit the clearance from the boundary with red now, aren't you?
Yeah, I think Rob's been a tad unfortunate that was almost exceptional position. I think it's just reappeared the other side of the hoop.
He's got. I was going to say Felix has got quite a lot of lawn, which he can hide. He can hide yellow here, so he's got both black and the hoop in play.
Hide from what? Blue's
From
clearing
blue.
red.
From blue.
Blue's clearing red.